Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. How in the world is it April? That is absolutely bonkers. I don't know about you, but time feels like it's absolutely flying. I recently celebrated my 1 year of moving to Seattle, which is just crazy. Where has the time gone? I don't know. So at the end of last year, I went on a trip to Asia with my partner and one of my oldest friends. We spent 3 weeks across Taiwan and Japan, and both of these places are stationary heaven. I miss it so much. I want to go back. From that trip, we brought home a ton of stuff. I have my own haul video, and then my sister AJ actually also went soon after I did, and she has her own haul video. So check that one out as well if you haven't seen it. So our trip consisted of eating a ton of amazing food, and for me, a bunch of shopping. I brought back a lot of junk. Taiwanese and Japanese junk is probably some of the prettiest trash you'll see. Packaging, tickets, receipts, stickers, more packaging, more receipts. Yeah, so I have a ton of stuff to look through, and I think altogether they paint actually a really great picture of my trip. So I've been itching to do a junk journal spread with all these things, and so that's what I thought we would do today. I hope you'll join me for a cozy junk journal session. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are with our junk. I was originally thinking that I would just do one spread, but clearly I have a lot of stuff, so this might be multiple spreads at this point, and maybe it'll make sense to do a Taiwan spread and a Japan spread. So that's what I'm thinking right now, and I want to do it in my traveler's notebook. So far, I'm a baby junk journaler, but I have done this spread, which is of a bunch of stationery stuff that I got in Toronto, and then I also did a spread of all this washi tape that I got with all the backing, which I thought was just cute to see them all together. So this could be my third and fourth spread. I'm gonna hold the book open with some of the clampy clips I got in Japan, and then I'm going to stick everything with my Kokuyo doll liner, which is my favorite roller adhesive at the moment. Okay, so maybe before we start, it makes sense for me to split everything up and organize my junk by Japan and Taiwan, and then it'll be a lot easier to see what we have to work with. I feel like pretty much everywhere we went, I was on the lookout for tickets, business cards, packaging, anything like that that I could collect for this spread. I bought these two folders in Taiwan when I was there, and this turned out to be such a great purchase because it ended up holding all of my ephemera as I went through Asia. I also used it to stick down like washi tapes and stuff that I got on packaging so that I could transfer it to my junk journal. Since this trip, I've gotten a passport traveler's notebook, and inside I have their sticker release paper insert, which will be great in the future for holding sticky ephemera like washi and stickers. Okay, so I think I have everything sorted now. This is Japan. This is the big stuff that might be in the background of the junk journal, and then this is the small stuff that could be layered on top, and then this is the big stuff for Taiwan and the small stuff for Taiwan. I think we are ready. I'm going to show you this real quick, which is my little, there's more receipts, which is a notebook that I got in one of my first stationery shops that I went to in Taiwan called Plain Stationery. And this is when I started collecting stamps for all these places. Super cute. It's hard to remember to go collect the stamps when you're there, but for the stuff that I didn't remember, I was able to grab it in this little book. Some of them are so detailed, which I loved. This is from the Arashiyama Monkey Park. This one I did upside down. Whoops. Some Traveler's Factory. Traveler's Factory. Yeah. Look at how intricate that is. So cool. Let's get going with our junk journal. So I'm going to start with Taiwan just because that is the order of which I travel. I'm going to move Japan stuff to the side for now, so we have some room here. Nothing says I went on a trip more than a boarding pass does. And I used to be kind of annoyed that they would make me get the physical copy even though I have my boarding pass on my phone. But now I'm definitely glad that I have this physical version so I could stick it in here. So we're going to start with laying down some of our larger pieces. So I have some stationery shop packaging. I have some packaging from food. This was an amazing donut place in Taiwan. So good. And it was something that we stumbled upon too, which I love even more. We were driving past it and there was a lineup outside, and that's definitely how you know that it's something good. It's crazy how just looking at the packaging brings me back to that very moment of discovering those donuts, waiting for those donuts, eating those donuts. I'm really feeling the magic of junk as I put this together. I love it. So I'm using the Kokuyo adhesive roller to stick the edges and then using some scotch tape just to secure down those big pieces. I really like the look of the background kind of overflowing off the page, so I just cut the edges off here. Okay, I like that starting point. I also definitely want to include my boarding pass, maybe at the top. I'm kind of just winging it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in one spread for each city. This is a lot of stuff. This was my favorite postcard pack from Taiwan, so maybe I'll cut these out and make them like little stickers. One of my absolute favorite days on this whole Asia trip was this one day in Taipei. It was rainy, and the boys decided to go to Hodong Cat Village, and I decided to stay back and do a full-on stationary tour of the city, and it was glorious. Such a great day. I got these postcards from one of the shops on that day. And then this piece I got from Miyahara Ice Cream, which is in Taichung in Taiwan. It's an ice cream parlor, but they also have other really great desserts and other goodies that would be great gifts. It was converted from an ophthalmologist clinic. So it's in this really cool historic building, and the workers there are dressed in kind of this old style ophthalmology outfits. It was really cool, and the ice cream was amazing. I got this grape flavored one. It was so good. Grape is a flavor that I wouldn't usually get, but since it was one of their popular ones, I definitely had to get it, and it was the right choice. So if you're ever in Taichung, I highly recommend going to Miyahara. It's just a really cool place to walk around as well. The other spot I would recommend is Shenji New Village, which is this little area full of craft vendors, handmade goods. These are the kind of stores that I love. I love supporting local artists and just looking around at all the amazingly crafted little goodies that they have for sale. There's also little gift shops and stationery shops there. I could easily spend hours there. It was really cool. Definitely a highlight of our time in Taiwan. Okay, I'm jumping around a little bit here, but this is going back to my favorite stationery tour day. Tools to Live By was one of the shops on my route, and it was such a cool little spot. I just remember biking between each little shop in the rain and just being so happy to walk through and look at everything, even though it's pouring. And then the other big highlight was that I stumbled upon some of the best boba that I had that whole trip. It was so good. The milk was so fresh, and I got a taro milk. I'll dream about that drink. So this is an example of one of the receipts that we got in Taiwan, and they all have these little barcodes on the bottom. And I learned that this is called the Uniform Invoice Lottery, which was introduced in the 50s to combat tax evasion. Isn't that crazy? So what you can do is you can scan the codes and put them into an app, and then every once in a while they do a draw and you can win money. So it's basically like a lottery ticket. And I think the impact of it was that they got way more tax money than before this lottery, and so it's to promote tax compliance. Wild. Anyway, so what I'm sticking down here is our train ticket to Alishan, which is a national forest scenic area. It has a bunch of hikes, and we stayed on a tea plantation nearby in Shizhuo. which was so picturesque, so cool, such a great experience, even though it was rainy. We got up really, really early multiple times to try to catch the sunrises because they're just beautiful over there. It was quite cloudy for the most part for us, unluckily, but it was still such a nice place to kind of decompress and be away from the city. Nearby, I would also recommend checking out Finchihu, which is a stop on the Alishan Forest Railway and where you can pick up some really fun snacks like millet donuts and their famous bento box lunches. You can also do a hike in the bamboo forests, and if you're there at the right time, they also do firefly tours. We went down to try and see them, but we ended up maybe seeing two. So definitely check if you're there in the right season. Okay, so I've put down some more ephemera from some stationery shops. A lot of them have stamps that you can use to stamp on paper and then take that home with you. This is a business card from a really cute cafe that had great waffles. This is another piece that I got from Tools to Live By that says, "The uncommon beauty in common things," which I think is just such a nice reminder to, pause and find wonder in ordinary things. Those little details that most people would overlook, really just slowing down and really seeing what's around you. Okay, so I finally ran out of my first Kokuyo dot liner, and one of the things that I really like about this one is that you can refill them. So you can buy refills and then just pop the old one out and pop the new one in, just to decrease the amount of plastic you're throwing away. So we're down to the details here, just kind of filling in the smaller spaces that are left over after putting down some of our bigger pieces. This is a pamphlet from Midori. They were celebrating their 70th anniversary, and this is their character Oji-san, which means uncle in Japanese. And to my understanding, he is a kind of quirky character. He's kind of their mascot, but he's maybe more of a vibe. An uncle vibe where he shows up in their comics and he has dry humor and just kind of reflects on life. He also has these two cute dogs. And then here we have packaging from this towel that I got that has this really cool art on it, which depicts a bunch of animals at a market. It's super cute and I love the illustration style of it. Okay, so now I'm going to put on those postcard stickers that we made earlier, just to kind of fill in more of the gaps. Okay, so this is our spread for Taiwan. I didn't think I was going to fit it all onto one for a second there, but I think it's cute. It's cute. We have some tickets, we have my boarding pass, train tickets, we have stationery stores, Tools to Live By, Vision Stationery, we got cutouts from business cards, cutouts from Midori pamphlets, yeah, food, spots, we got goodies that I bought, souvenirs that I picked up. Cute! Okay, so this is a good warm-up because Japan just has more stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it on one for Japan, but we'll give it a try. Maybe what I'll do is I'll look at my trip in multiple parts. So I'll look at our time in Osaka and then our time in Kyoto, maybe separately, and that would be a good way to differentiate them. Let's do Osaka first. Okay, so let's look at what we got. We have business cards. This is Osaka. This is Kyoto. Let's split it up, I guess. Out of all the countries in Asia, Japan has to be the one with the biggest reputation for stationery, and especially quality stationery. You'll also notice so much attention to design in their packaging. We have some fun backing paper to work with because this fancy paper is from when we had Daifuku at this fancy place called Kajitsu no Hana in Osaka. You get to pick your paper that you wanted to wrap your box of 6 daifuku. So we got some pretty paper, and then we also got some packaging. I'm just going to rip this. I like organic edges, so one of these. Maybe here and this over here. That would be cute. That. I think that'd be really cute. Okay, so let's commit. Let's just stick some stuff down. As you can see, we had this daifuku several times because it was just so good. If you don't know what daifuku is, it is a Japanese dessert and it's usually some sort of sweet filling. It could be like red bean paste, it could be fruit, and it's wrapped in mochi. I like it. So I definitely gotta put my boarding pass. We flew directly from Taipei to Osaka and then used Osaka as kind of our landing pad and did some day trips to Nara and Kobe, and then we also took the train to stay in Kyoto for a few days. Okay, beautiful. And then, do we want a little bit of this? Do a little bit. Maybe we can do it across on this seam here. Definitely want to include Marita Pen Shop in here. This is where I got my newest, well, new Pilot Decimo. I love these clicky pens. So good, so convenient. And it's just run by the sweetest Japanese man, so I definitely want to feature them in here. Highly recommend Morita if you are in Osaka. It was really cute. He was asking me where I was from, and I said Canada, and he said, "Oh, Blue Jays." I didn't know how into baseball Japanese were. I think maybe I'm living under a rock, but I did not know how serious they are about baseball. Whoops. Uncultured. Actually, that'd be nice here. Break up this dark. Oh, guess it's going down. Okay. That's going there. I love Snoopy, so Snoopy's gotta go in here somewhere. There's my traveler's notebook, the one that I'm actually in, the Kyoto edition. Actually, this is Kyoto, obviously. Oh, this is this place, the Daifuku. Maybe I'll cut that out or something. What else we got in here? Beautiful pictures of Daifuku. This was so yummy. We have the Hobonichi Beginner's Guide. This is kind of fun. I don't know if I need to put this in my junk journal though. This is Kyoto anyway. Okay, maybe a bunch of receipts, all of which I got tax-free. Love it. Ooh, Ishida I definitely want in there. This is where we got Kobe beef. Maybe we could do like one of these. Rip this. Definitely need to commit junk journaling. Maybe I can do this up here and then I can do the rest of it. No, that's fine. Okay, let's do that at the top. Up here. Public Tokyo. Oh, this is Kyoto. And Granif. I like the paid stamp on here. I might use this one. And then, ooh, this is from Katsuoji. This is a cool artist. I can't recall their name, but I'll put them up on the screen. Maybe I will cut this out. That would be cute. Oh yeah, this was super yummy as well. Iraten in Osaka. Check it out too. And then I got a peanuts blind bag. I should be able to peel this off. Ah, there's so much to use. Okay, I need to be pickier. So I'm not gonna do this or this. My design school precision blade skill is definitely coming in handy for these cutouts. That'll be very cute. Start a little pile over here. I definitely want to use this. I want to use this one. I'm going to use that. This I want to use this. Let's see if we can take this off. Oh yeah. Easy peasy. Boom. Maybe I'll do that right there. Ah! I feel like something should go under it. Okay, let's save this for a second. Being indecisive now. Okay. I want to make sure we get the Katsuoji. Okay, let's put our bigger stuff down. Sloppily. Oh, you know what would be cute? I'm just thinking of. I have this stamp that cuts in like a sakura shape. So I could do this and cut out some for the other side so we can like complement. It's like a good way to capture things without needing to put the whole thing in. Some of this as well. And then you have these little flakes. How cute. And then I could put them here maybe. We can use them as fillers. Got distracted. These? Sure. Let's see what Smisky things do I want. I got the exercise series and I got a stack of them in my little home gym now. I really wanted this one, but I couldn't get it. Okay, so we have Smisky, this cat, Katsuoji. I'm gonna start slapping things on. That's cute. Do one of these. Okay. A couple more cutouts. Okay, so we have a few sticker-like things here. Oh, it's stuck. Okay. Tokyo. We got that cat still works there. Okay, let's just stick stuff down. Ah! Maybe this can go here. Okay. Honestly, I feel like it's pretty hard to make a junk journal look bad, especially when using Japanese junk. Go right there. Beautiful. Okay. And then I remember I sent some postcards and we got these. I'm just gonna stick one here. So that's cute. We got our Taiwan and then our Kyoto. How cute. With our little flakes. Pull it over from here. You're so fun. Just really like relive my trip just looking at this. Now we have Osaka, food, stationery, Smiskies, more shopping, food, Merida, more stationery, adventure days. Ah, amazing. Okay. Now, before I run out of daylight, let's go into the next one. What paper do we have to work with? Okay, we got a bunch of stuff here. So we got monkeys. Maybe this will just be this whole thing. Okay, and then this is the Kyoto, which is a stationery store. It's beautiful. I guess it's mostly like postcards and stuff. But it is beautiful in there. Stick it down like that. Okay. And then we can put the monkeys. The monkeys can just take over this whole page. Monkeys taking over. This was such a good spot. Definitely go to the monkey park. It's like a 20-minute hike up there, but very well worth it. They're so cute, the babies. Okay. I also have more stuff here, actually. Bye-bye. I went to a really cool show. Oh, we went to Kiyomizu. I gotta put this on somewhere. Maybe just right there. And then we went to a show that was just so unique. And then they threw a bunch of stuff at us after. a non-verbal play, which is so cool. Maybe I'll cut her out. She's like the main, or one of the main characters in the show. No spoilers. Okay, I'll cut her out. I actually discovered this place on Google Maps, and I'm so glad I did. Highly recommend. I think I'll put that down here, maybe? That here, and then that up there. Let's do that. Kyoto was amazing. Honestly, if I were to do that trip again, I think I would have stayed in Kyoto one more day. It does have the Traveler's Factory's flagship as well as the Hobonichi flagship, so definitely a great spot for stationery lovers. This was beautiful. We went at a great time in the year. We were there in November, so all the trees were turning, and it was just so amazing. So highly recommend, especially if you can go in November. This is the Hobonichi flagship. This is Tobichi. Got their little business card. Maybe that goes right there. That is where I got my Dragon cover, which I'm very excited about. I always love to save a bit of money here and there, so I was able to get tax-free, and also it's just cheaper buying it in Japan versus getting it shipped. Go to Japan, save money, right? Some stationary girl math right there. Let's plop that right there. That is cute. We got custom rings made at Glanta. 4 of us got them made. You can choose the metal you want, the size, the style, and then you can also add an optional engraving. And then they make it there right in front of you. I could go right there, maybe. I went to Woodstock Nest. Love Snoopy. We got some Granif. It's kind of a fun clothing store where I got this crazy hamburger cardigan. Okay, so that could go there. Todaiji. Todaiji has to go somewhere. In our time in Nara. We got in the last second, right before closing, which was great actually because nobody was there. So maybe I will put that here somehow. Maybe I can cut it out. This place is super cool. Inside is Japan's largest Buddha statue. It's humongous. Okay, we should stick this in somewhere because this is the little wrapper that you get with the little biscuits when you feed the deer in Nara. Just these little biscuit stacks. This is what they're wrapped in. Ah, running out of room already. I think some of our most memorable times on this trip were with wildlife, with the monkeys and with the deer in Nara. We spent hours there. We're having fun. Okay. And then we have a bunch of stickers and washi tape scraps to use. So I'm gonna take this one off. We'll do these. I don't want to cover them. One of these. Okay. I want to put our hotel. That. So cute. Okay, I definitely want to get Nintendo off here as well. The biggest find at this Nintendo store were these Gachapon keychains that were of controller parts from the Nintendo 64, GameCube, consoles like those. Definitely a big nostalgia thing. We got several and each were $5 a pop. It was a very popular machine. Cool. There. Sticker here. I dig it. And boom. Okay. I think we're good. And then I'm just gonna cut this off. And I think we're done. Let's take a look at our work. From the top, we got Taiwan. Wow. Ah, this makes me actually so happy. I'm so happy I didn't just throw all this stuff away. I love it. And then we have Osaka. A lot of shopping, a lot of eating. Ah, I love this cat. Love the background paper, the receipts, all the stickers. So cute. And then finally we have Kyoto. Ooh, with the monkeys, the show that I went to, with Kiyomizu, Traveler's Factory flagship, stationery stores, Hobonichi flagship, Glanta. I love it. Okay, I have a huge mess to clean up, but this was so satisfying. I'm so happy with these. They just capture the magic of my time in Asia just through trash. And I know people junk journal with, like, not junk, like they buy stuff to junk journal with, which I feel like defeats the purpose a little bit. But I mean, I might go through and put some washi on it, but for the most part, this is gonna be junk. It's gonna be stuff that people throw away, but stuff that tells a story. I had such a good trip, and I'm so glad now that I have this to look back on. It's so visual. It's so fun. I would highly recommend trying junk journaling if you haven't already. Ah, I'm very happy with this. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my yap with my junk journaling. Thanks as always for watching us and supporting us on YouTube. We appreciate it so, so much. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.